Hey everyone, Mr. MC here, back with another lap guide. This time we're taking a look at the Opel Corsa GSE VGT at Road Atlanta. We're going to do things a little differently because this is a very strange car to drive. So I'm going to tell you a couple of things I need to keep in mind when doing this time trial challenge. And this time I'm going to do the lap guide breakdown in bumper cam. So let's get this started. So the Opel Corsa VGT has a large wing at the back that also acts as an air brake. So you'll notice this if you're playing around in chase cam or if you're in the replay. Whenever you get on the brakes, the rear wing goes up and acts as an air brake. So you'll brake a lot quicker, but it also introduces quite a bit of understeer where the car doesn't want to turn. So if you try to trail brake while that wing is up, the car is not really going to turn because that rear wing is hindering you from doing so. So what you need to do for this left-hand challenge is you need to brake in a straight line, and as soon as you're starting to turn in, just let go of the brakes. You don't even want to touch the throttle just yet. Just let the car turn in, get the car pointing where you want to go, and then get on the throttle. And additionally, this car also has a boost system. So you want to bind the boost button or the overtake button to a button on your controller. So for me, whether I'm on the wheel or the controller, I like to have it on circle. And this car only has 4 boost charges, so you want to use them at the right time, otherwise you do risk falling behind. Luckily, it's a bit straightforward where you want to use the boost charges. So for the back straight, you want to use it as soon as you're getting the car pointing where you want to go. Just be careful about activating the boost too early because you do risk going off the track, because the moment you use the boost, the car is not going to want to turn. I also like to spam the boost button, that way there's no delay in between boosts because you have to activate each single one by yourself. So I use the first 3 charges on the back straight, and then I wait until the final bit, which is going to be right about here. So just after the very last chicane, that's where I use the final charge, and then just stick to the right side of the track and complete your lap. So now let's go ahead and actually do the lap breakdown. Alright, so right away when you get started with your session, you want to bring yourself towards the left for this first part of the chicane, because you want to give yourself a good run out of the second half of the chicane so you can get a bit of a faster start to your new lap. So do a little bit of throttle control and then fully accelerate your way out. I like to go a little wide through the final corner to build up a little more speed. Stay on the left side of the track, and for this first turn, you're not even going to touch the brakes. You'll be turning in just as the grass on the left is about to start, and you're going to do a really quick lift off of the throttle. So you see me start to turn in, and I do turn in quite a bit, and I do a very quick lift off of the throttle. That way the car can turn in a bit more. Now you want to stay towards the left because you need to brake really early for turn number 3. You're braking well before the curb on the left starts. Use all of your braking power, so you'll be slowing down very quickly, but as soon as the curb on the left is about to end, that is where you completely let go of the brakes. That way the rear wing goes down and you're not understeering, at least hopefully, and you're able to turn on in, let the car coast for just a moment. So you see here, no braking, no throttle input. The car will turn in a bit more. But you also need to be really careful with this curb on the right. So I do mount a bit on it, but you don't want to be too aggressive because your car can jump and that's going to really mess you up. But as soon as you clear this apex, that is where you want to fully get back on the throttle, go flat out through the S's to the point where you're even John Deering through some of these parts. So you'll see here my right wheels are on the curb, so that's still within track limits, and I'm going to do the same thing for the next curb coming up. By the way, you need to brake really early for turn number 5. You're braking just as the curb on the right is about to start, so use all of your braking power. Bring yourself all the way to the right so you're John Deering this part as well. So the left wheels are on the curb, so they're still within track limits. Turn in before the curb on the right ends, and as you're starting to turn in, quickly let go of the brakes so the rear wing can come down and you're not understeering through turn number 5. So you see here, I'm just going to let the car coast so that way I can turn in a bit more, and I really want to make sure that this car turns in as much as possible because the moment I get on the throttle, the car is going to understeer a little bit, and if I get on the throttle a bit too early, I do risk going off of the track, which will invalidate my lap time. So you want to make sure that your left wheels do not go past this line. If your left wheels go past this line, then your lap time will get invalidated, and bring yourself back onto the track before that curb ends. Now bring yourself towards the left, you're braking just as a piece of tarmac on the right starts, so this is before the 200 feet board. Use all of your braking power, and you're going to turn in before the 200 feet line, which is just up ahead, and I'll highlight here right now. So as you start to turn in, completely let go of the brakes, and you can carry quite a bit of speed through turn number 6. So you see here, brake really quickly, let go of the brakes completely, the car turns in pretty well, get on the throttle, and as soon as you hit the turn out point from turn number 6, that is where you want to brake for turn number 7. You need to brake really early because of that rear wing, so if you're trying to trail brake, your car is just going to understeer. So brake it nice and early, turn in before the curb on the left ends, completely let go of the brakes, that way the car can turn in a bit more. And you want to be really careful getting back on the throttle. You don't want to time it too early because you do risk going off of the track. Now, this is where you start to use the overtake or the boost. And as I said earlier, be really careful about using the boost too early, because once you use the boost, the car is going to refuse to turn. Here, I got really lucky because I almost went off the track. And as soon as the first charge ends, you use the second boost charge, and same goes for the third one, but save the last one for the end of the lap. So stay towards the right. You're going to brake right as you pass the 200 feet sign that is on the right. So you'll use all of your braking power, and you're going to turn in when you're about a quarter of the way through this curb on the right. So you'll want to let go of the brakes completely. You can carry quite a bit of speed through this first part of the chicane, but you're also going to be a bit risky because you're going to also kind of just John Deere through this first part. So my right wheels are barely on the curves, so I'm still within track limits. So let the car coast for just a moment. Little bit of throttle as you go in between the chicanes, and as soon as you start turning in, so where the curb on the right ends, let go of the throttle, let the car turn in a bit more, and as soon as the curb on the right is about to end, that is where you want to get back on full throttle power. Hopefully by this point your car is mostly straightened out to the point where you can fully accelerate your way out and use the final boost charge. Bring yourself all the way to the right to reduce track distance. Take the very last turn flat out and finish your lap. But let's go through this again, but this time I'm not going to stop the video and I'll still remain in bumper cam. Alright, so here we are getting ready to start the new lap. So I slow myself down just a little bit to make sure I'm able to get a bit of a faster exit out of the final chicane, go a little wide out of the final corner to build up a little more speed, stay on the left side of the track, and for turn number 1 I'm going to do a really quick lift off our throttle, and I'm going to turn in when the grass on the left starts. This car has a lot of downforce, so you can carry a lot of speed. Brake well before the curb on the left starts for turn number 3, and for turn number 5, which is coming up just ahead, you're going to brake as soon as the curb on the right starts right here. Take advantage of the curves at 0, still within track limits, and you want to coast through some of these turns to make sure the car is still able to turn in. Brake before the 200 feet board, and you want to brake again as soon as you hit the turnout point from turn number 6. Get the car straightened up as soon as you can, because you're going to start to use the 3 boost charges here. So here's boost number 1, boost number 2 is getting used up, boost number 3 is getting used up, and don't forget you have to hit the boost button each time that you want to use it. Then brake just as you reach the 200 feet board, and you can carry quite a bit of speed through the final chicane. Get the car straightened up and go ahead and use the final boost charge. Stay towards the right side of the track and finish your lap. And we'll go through this one more time, but this time I'm going to be in chase cam, as this is the perspective that I like to use the most, but I want to show where I'm positioning the car for these turns. So again, you can see the rear air brake does go on whenever I use the brakes, which is why you don't want to trail brake, otherwise you do risk understeering off of the track because that big old rear wing is actually getting in your way. So turn number 1, I'm going to do a really quick lift off of throttle, turn in when the grass on the left starts, and again you can carry quite a bit of speed through these corners. brake well before the curb on the left starts, and go ahead and get back on full throttle power. I'm going to John Deere my way through some of these S's, brake before the curb or just before the curb on the right starts, and carefully get back on the throttle. Look for the 200 feet board, brake before I pass it. There you go, and let the car coast for just a moment. Brake as soon as I reach the turnout point from turn number 6. Get the car straightened up as quickly as possible so I can start to use the boost function that the Opel has. And I'm going to use 3 of the 4 boost charges, so I'm going to save the final one for the end of the lap, so just after the final chicane. Look for the 200 feet board, brake right as you pass it, and again here you can carry quite a bit of speed, get the car straightened up, and use the final boost charge and stay towards the right side of the lap to reduce track distance. And with this, I was able to poke into the 106s, getting a 106.977. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you like this video, please do consider hitting the like and the subscribe button. But that's all for me. This is Miss MCA, and I'll see you in the next video.